From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm David Forrest reporting the EU extends Russian sanctions. European Union foreign ministers formally agreed Monday to extend economic sanctions against Russia for an additional 6 months. The move was in response to Russia's role in the Ukraine conflict. It came during a meeting of the EU's foreign ministers in Luxembourg. EU envoys had preliminarily approved the measure last week. U.S. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter said Monday there is neither a desire to return to a Cold War nor a desire for a new conflict with Russia. Speaking in Berlin, the secretary said economic sanctions are having an effect in countering Russian aggression in Ukraine.
These sanctions are having effect, and they've increased the cost Russia is paying for its aggression.
Carter spoke at a forum where he met with Germany's defense minister. Officials in the 19-nation Eurozone are meeting today to deal with the Greek debt crisis. They are trying to prevent Greece from defaulting on its loan payments at the end of the month. Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras is holding talks in Brussels with the heads of the International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank, and the European Commission after unveiling a new proposal Sunday. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker said the sides are getting closer to an agreement. French President François Hollande also cited progress, stressing a desire for an agreement to be in place by the end of Monday. At least 30 people were killed when a female suicide bomber blew herself up in a crowded fish market near a mosque in Nigeria's northeastern city of Maiduguri. Many others were wounded. Witnesses say a second woman fled and blew herself up minutes later, but killed only herself. This is VOA News. Taliban insurgents attacked Afghanistan's parliament Monday, wounding at least 30 people, mostly civilians. Ayaz Gul reports.
Witnesses and police say the attack began with a Taliban suicide bomber blowing up his explosive-packed car outside the parliament gates. Witnesses reported a series of explosions and gunfire from inside the compound following the raid. The lower house, the Vulasi Jirga, was in session during the attack, and lawmakers were readying to decide whether to endorse Defense Minister-designate Masoom Stanakzai. The proceedings were being broadcast live and television showed a powerful explosion shook the speaker's chair, with the main hall engulfed in dust and smoke as lawmakers rushed out. Ayaz Gul, Islamabad.
Iran's foreign minister and his European Union counterparts are meeting in Luxembourg for a final round of nuclear talks aimed at completing an agreement before a June 30th deadline. The governor of the U.S. state of South Carolina is calling for the Confederate flag to be removed from the grounds of the state capitol. Nikki Haley changed her position today.
15 years ago, after much contentious debate, South Carolina came together in a bipartisan way to move the flag from atop the Capitol dome. Today, we are here in a moment of unity in our state, without ill will, to say it's time to move the flag from the Capitol grounds.
Governor Haley said if state lawmakers do not take up the flag issue, she will call them back into a special session. A riot has been reported at a military camp holding more than 800 ex-militiamen in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They are demanding to be freed and sent back to their home areas. Nick Long reports.
The ex-militiamen came from various armed groups in the east of the country and have been at the camp at Kotakoli in western DRC since they surrendered in 2013 to the army or to the UN mission. This is not the first time they have rioted at the camp. There was trouble there last year and in February, and last weekend a violent protest broke out again. The ex-combatants tried to break into an armory and looted the houses of officers in charge of the camp. UN radio in the Congo Okapi describes the riot as an uprising and reports that the ex-militiamen have been refusing to negotiate with a senior army officer sent to the camp. It says they have given the government 3 days to provide them with the means to return to their home areas. Nick Long, Goma.
The European Union is launching a naval operation targeting human traffickers and smugglers carrying migrants across the Mediterranean Sea to Europe. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini told reporters in Luxembourg there appears to be a great deal of support for the mission. She said the mission will first gather information and patrol international waters, trying to detect and monitor smuggling networks. From the VOA News Center in Washington, I'm Dave DeForest.
That's the latest world news from VOA.